Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday the 13th. Be careful. The algorithms are superstitious. I'm not joking. Well, anyways, yesterday was just whoosh. It was possibly one of the biggest market days that we're ever going to see. The move is probably not over, but headlines continue to come out. Only a few minutes ago, reports from CNBC that China is still uneasy about specified targets for purchases for agricultural purposes. This headline might be complete bullcrap, but you can see here as I was eating breakfast, if I come up here and show the dime, you can see that they had a pretty big spike up. And for now, the treasuries are headed on the up. They closed the overnight gap. Let's go to the chart. Here you can see there was a pretty big gap overnight, and they have closed the gap and come above the gap. They are now forming a 15-minute inside bar. I would like to be super cautious and pick my spots. Volume profile here really quick. You can see that they did go all the way down to this crazy point of control down here. But look, they're already up into here. E-mini, kind of a similar thing. E-mini took a real tumble on it. So, that's what's going on. And then, in the meantime, we have core retail sales. We are looking for a reading of spot 4 month over month, with the retail sales coming in at spot 5, the previous at spot 3. So, look at them push up. I would expect more headlines. Guys. Oh, let's see here. I don't have this open. Let's turn you guys on. I would expect more headlines, but unless it comes from officials, I would be skeptical about what you're reading. All right. I'm just noticing, by the way, a lot of skepticism about it. The zero hedge was pushing it's not really, the trade deal's not actually happening. Based on what I know, U.S.-China trade talks have moved a step forward, but how to define this step and what real significance does it have? The answers lie in joint efforts of China and U.S. Excuse me, I had to fart there. And here's where I would get into who apparently does not know what is going on. All right, this is a big thing to point out. Who does not know what's going on? It seems that the hawks on both sides are completely clueless. I would not trust any report that does not come directly from the administration or officials in Beijing. Makes sense? And let's see here. Oh, yes. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get this day going, huh? Yesterday we were a little less than we would like. For the moment, though, we're in an up bar. I cannot sell this. That makes it hard. Makes it hard to sell this. Well, if I do anything, I think that it will have to be in the E-mini. They are higher than where I bought it yesterday, at least at 31.62. They held the 31.67.25. I think that it's probably best to wait for the core retail sales to come. So let's pull up CNBC here and read the Mm-hmm. Yoon learned through a source that China still has concerns regarding hard targets the U.S. is pushing for in terms of agricultural purchases. Let's see if I go back further in. See, so they're up again. I see first Squawk's retweeting who here. I honestly think I could fade this. If I was willing to take the risk in the E-mini, I think I could just straight up sell 17. Well, I mean, we could do it on Sim. I'll do it.
Uzi Knesset says TGIF bros grinning face with big eyes. Michael XC says who are you? Who. Stickball says just arrived what's up Seth. Uzi Knesset says liquidity map in ZB looks like there's some spread bros trailing bids and offers.
So, Stick, just to reiterate what I was saying, there are a lot of stories floating around from unspecified sources that the Chinese still have concerns with the trade deal. I would expect to see more headlines that would perhaps be negative and push the treasuries up. And I'm looking to fade those. And here's why. I didn't really get into this, but the deal that was offered that included 50% of the tariffs being taken off, we learned yesterday that tariff, that offer was made over a week ago. So if that was made over a week ago and then the administration is getting excited about it today, what does that mean? They wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be saying all this stuff if there wasn't, they wouldn't be doing everything unless they had gotten something from Beijing. They go ahead from something. So there must have been that they said something and Beijing came back to them and then they presented it to Donald Trump and Donald Trump said yes. And now they're going back to Beijing and they're saying, okay, let's do it. So some of these negative headlines that you're seeing could be coming from people that don't know what's going on. Make sense? We can manage this and move it down. That move up, it didn't make a higher high. Can you believe this? Those are going to be a great trade, I think. This keeps going. Well, a little bit of pushback at 15.
Uzi Knesset says scratch that, it's just on the bid side, not the offer side. Air Cages says hello.
Let's see here. Oh, move my position window over here.
Stickball says where's the trade?
I took it short at 17.5. Oh, you're totally right, Uzi. No, they're trailing it. They've got some. So where's the other side of it? I don't see it. Maybe it's in UB. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin still hasn't moved. I think Bitcoin's going to sell this Friday. Like after the markets close and everything, and in the evening, I think they're going to sell it.
Harlequin says this is like Schrodinger's cat. The trade deal is there and isn't there at the same time, but in the end we Chinese will eat cat.
That was a good one. maybe a little insensitive to Chinese people, but you know what? Hey, some Chinese people do eat cats.
Uzi Knesset says I'm going on my gut here, but that might drag the market down a bit. Just a theory there.
Yeah, that bid down there in the 5. Well, I think that the spread trade that would make sense to me. The spread trade that would make sense to me would be a flattener. So having a bid in the 30-year and then there should be an offer somewhere else. There is an offer in the
Air
10-year,
Cages
but
says
it's not
shout out to my
following.
Discord bestie, just being me.
Oh, Air Cages. So yesterday, Air Cages came in and he was joking around about starting a pump and dump group. And one of our regulars in Discord, who is a good guy, but he's kind of like me. I feel him. He's kind of like me. He's a little against the grain. And so when Air Cages said that, he was immediately like, "Oh hell no, ain't none of that in my Discord," you know. and he didn't know who Air Cages was or knew the jokes because he doesn't watch a stream. So they got into it a little bit. But I think that they worked it out and realized they were joking. Look at that offer. Look at that offer absorbing at 15.5. Won't Trump need the trade tension to get on his lower rates now? Powell says they are on hold. Zero Hedge. Is Trump conducting public negotiations to then frame China as the bad guy for walking away from his quote-unquote great deal, quoting Robobank? I don't know.
Air Cages says lol, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I wish you guys had done it in the horse so that we would have it, but I deleted everything because it was off topic. Okay, now another tick up. You know, they're doing back and forth at 15.5. I think taking a profit there would be. Well, it's a little too late now. I should have taken it off at 15.5, but I kind of want to let this ride. Like, well, there's retail sales coming up. Like, I think retail sales are going to be good. All of the evidence that we have about how the month has been going and everything is good. I think that they'll be on the plus side, but we'll see. I should open up
Air
here,
Cages says so. I heard some small city in China just bought all of the bitcoins.
What? Really? I did not hear that.
Uzi Knesset says so. How about the communists getting absolutely shellacked in the UK last night? Greater than haha.
Oh yeah, you know what? That one was. I mean, there was a lot of polls that were saying that the conservative victory wasn't going to be as good as it seemed, and that they weren't going to get the majority that they needed and everything. And they like totally blew out all of those expectations. They outperformed, rather. I thought that was interesting.
Uzi Knesset says oh, the media commies tried to undersell it for the twatter mobds.
For the twatter.
Uzi Knesset says just like they do here. Popularity Matters says all I heard yesterday that the cons were going to win.
I hate this. It's like you have to make the jigsaw thing like the whole width of the window.
Michael XC says Corbyn was anti-EU leading a pro-EU party. What did you expect? Lol. Michael XC says but having to pretend he was pro-EU too.
Okay, so again, we're looking for import prices month over month, spot 2, retail sales month over month, spot 5. Now, where's this one? Doesn't have core retail sales listed. There's the poll. Well, we get good position, so we can just
nice
hold it.
Double top. Classic ta right there.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, you're right. I'm not super big on the patterns, but once it's happened, you can pretty well... Once it's happened.
Popularity Matters says ta is trash.
The thing is it's not a complete
futures
pattern.
Versus the value of the dollar or trading futures versus the value of other futures. Stickball says it's all relative value trading.
Mm. Because they haven't broken the neckline at 14.5. If they do, then it's going to be goodish. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, fine.
Stickball says 10 seconds.
Let's see here. Give me the numbers. Spot 2 versus spot 5. No good. This one's not updating.
Air Cages says the cool thing about top patterns is that everyone can see them.
Right. Well, look, they went and stopped me out, and now they're pushing back down again. That sucks. Spot 2 versus spot 5. Import prices were spot 2 versus spot 2. Core retail sales were spot 1 versus spot 4. Remember, core retail sales is the total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. So spot 1 versus spot 2, the previous being, point spot 1 versus an expected spot 4, and the previous being spot 2, so being even less than last time. That's very bad.
Michael XC says, wow, that's a bit delay in the channel.
I'm sorry.
Michael XC says, oh, I'm out of sync.
Sometimes you can get out of sync, but that might be my fault.
Air Cages says triple top, obviously. Harlequin says I only trade crude oil and Garlicoin correlation with support of a coin toss and reading cow entrails. That being said, the Amini is either long or short. Thank me later, guys. In hindsight, it's obvious.
Then, you know what I don't understand about the technical analysis thing is why do people never see why do people never see the ones that fail? Because they fail all the time.
Michael XC says, why cow and not pig?
Yeah.
Popularity Matters says go both long and short.
Cows are much smarter than pigs, that's why. Well, where did I get short from before? I mean, I was wrong. Let's start there. It was 17.5. That sucks. I was wrong, but then they decided that core retail sales doesn't matter.
Air Cages says you only trade the ones that do not fail, obviously.
Okay, well, so this 14.5 is holding.
Stickball says probably because the patterns are always different and they just consider that it failed because they read the pattern wrong. Harlequin says at Michael XC, you are right, maybe I will have a better edge with pigs. My last trade was shorting the Amini at 2,200 and it's not working out that great, but soon enough, guys, soon enough.
2,200. Oh man, that would be so bad. China Commerce Ministry says to hold press briefing at 2:30 p.m. GMT. That is in 1 hour's time. That is right at the opening of the E-mini market. Ooh, that scares me. Right? Whoa.
Air Cages says pig.
Okay, guys. Well, I can see the E-mini moving a little bit. Does that mean that they are expecting an announcement? A good announcement? Should we expect I think we should expect an announcement like that would be good. This is interesting.
Harlequin says at Seth, don't worry, I'm gonna martingale the shit out of this. If I'm wrong, my next 10 generations will be sold into slavery.
Next 10? All right. I could actually rate the stop on this a little closer, but it's okay. Assuming we grind lower until then. Well, I'm kind of mad about getting stopped out of my order at break even and everything, but it's okay.
Harlequin says perfect time to short the Amini. My average short position should now be at 2,600. See, much better.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that thinks like that. Man. I tell you, the one thing that always scares me the most, this happened yesterday, was somebody came into the channel and they're like, well, I'm down a little bit on my position. Do you think it's going to come back? And I'm like, if you have to ask me that, you should probably not be in it. State Council Information Office, not the Commerce Ministry, will hold the press briefing. Okay. And that is maybe better.
Air Cages says to be fair, Amini was overbought at 2,000.
Yes, very fair. That's fair. It's a fair point. I don't want that. So there's another spot right here at 81.75. Core retail sales growth weakest since February.
Harlequin says at Air Cages exactly, and now it has to be much more overbought at 3,180, so my short was just a tad too soon, like 3 years, but that's just a small slip.
It's just a small slip. I don't know enough about
Air
the Chinese
Cages
government
says it's going to come back to test that level eventually.
to know whether the information office versus the Commerce Ministry holding a press briefing matters. I think the fact that they're holding a press conference kind of flies in the face of these people that are saying that it's not gonna. Wow, stop run right there. I knew there was a spot there at 31.8175, but I didn't expect a stop run like that.
Harlequin says if not in my level, then my 10th grandson will hopefully be able to exit the trade at break even +1. So technically a winner. Harlequin says asterisk lifetime.
Okay.
Air Cages says Seth sorry I keep asking. Where do I find the list of accents again?
It's in the code. I tried making something. Maybe we can get a Nightbot in here that will do it for us or something. But there's China M, Ukraine, German F. I don't know. The Chinese one is the Chinese and the Ukraine ones are the best ones. I don't know if any of the other ones are really worth using.
Harlequin says, is there Japanese?
Yes, there is. Japan M. The Japan one is funny. So did I not get filled at 8175?
Air Cages says, is there an Indian one?
Wait, really? Hold on a second. No way. I did not get filled at 85. I think that when I put that in there, I made it a stop instead of a stop limit, and it didn't get filled where I wanted it to be.
Harlequin SAYS all hail the anime gods お前 WAMOU 死んでいる
He actually said Japanese there. I didn't hear him say hail all of the anime. No, there's not an Indian one. So if you go to the Google WaveNet speech to text page, you can see all of the accents listed. But there wasn't an Indian one. Oh no, wait. Maybe
Harlequin says, wow, that
one.
was an epic failure. He didn't say anything in English, lol.
Yeah, why did he say hail all of
ウジネ
it?
セット SAYS 何
That's all. He said way more than just nani. That's weird. I didn't know what to make of that. I think there is an India one, but I didn't add it. Maybe I should go and add it.
Harlequin SAYS アットマークウジネセット先輩ちゃんノーティスミ
Chen notice me.
Air Cages says, thank you, come again.
Yeah, no, I didn't add it. I have to add it to this list right here. You see this list? Those are the ones that I have. I can just copy and paste that.
Uzi Knesset says the Indian one comes with a dial tone and a man asking what your social security number is, lol.
Let's see, it's way too big to send to you. Crap. Let me try and find the WaveNet thing.
Harlequin says, is there a Nigerian prince accent? I only was able to reach them on email.
Okay.
Gary Rich says, I speak Japanese. He said, may your dog have many days of dragging his butt on carpet.
Okay, there is in India. There's a Hindi one. I just didn't add it. So I'll
Uzi
add it.
Knesset says, I need you to go to Walmart and get $2,000 gift card.
Let's see here. We could add it like India M.
Harlequin says show Bobs and Vagine.
क्लाउड मशीन लर्निंग के साथ आप
क्लाउड मशीन लर्निंग के
क्लाउड मशीन लर्निंग के साथ
क्लाउड मशीन
आपका एप्लीकेशन छवियों ग्रंथों और बहुत
आपका
कुछ की
एप्लीकेशन छवियों ग्रंथों और बहुत कुछ की
व्याख्या करता है क्लाउड मशीन लर्निंग
I'll do this one.
Uzi Knesset says lol bitch lasagna. Gary Rich says can you have it speak Korean? That language cracks me up.
I'd have to look. Okay, now try the India M1. It restarted.
Uzi
whoops,
Knesset
crap,
says
crap, crap, crap.
TGIF bros.
Hold on. It reread everything and it was about to start reading them all because I had the button freaking clicked. Okay. So now that I have this, I could do, if I do this one.
Uzi Knesset says I need you to go to Walmart and get $2,000 gift card.
No, it's not Indian, it's India.
Air says thank you, come again.
There you go.
Harlequin says back to the best one. Chinese accent master race, much better than Hong Kong or Taiwan accent. Concentration camp face.
Uzi Knesset says hello, my name is Peter, I am from the US Social Security Administration.
Wait, do they actually outsource the Social Security Administration support line? Several Chinese ministers due to attend press conference. That sounds good, guys. That sounds good.
Nando B says face with tears of joy.
Harlequin says hello lady, you are beautiful, please send Bobs and Vagine.
Uzi Knesset says no. It's a scam. They call you and tell you your social security number is frozen because of fraudulent activity.
Oh, really?
Uzi Knesset says I get a lot of Indian scam calls. They're fun to toy with.
Air says hello, my name is Michael. I will be your Microsoft support agent for today, ma'am.
There you go. That sounds more realistic.
Michael XC says hey, it's not all Indians, some are Pakistani grinning face. Harlequin says wait, guys. They are scam? I think I made some mistakes. Uzi Knesset says I am pretty sure a sizable portion of India's economy is held up by scam calls lol.
You know, I've never gotten Indian
Uzi
scam
Knesset
calls.
says at Michael XC that's true too.
Well, I sure do hear a lot of scam calls in Utah. I'm told that Utah is like the state for the highest amount of fraud. Somebody's trying to short it really hard.
Gary Rich says Utah is easy to scam, it's all Mormons who are the nicest people lol.
Yeah. Well, I think that people in Utah are more apt to believe that some sort of a venture is going to make them money. They have this entrepreneurial
Uzi
spirit.
Knesset says tech support
It's a
scam,
little-
social security number scam, car warranty scam, refund scam, free airline ticket scam are the big ones.
Like
Michael
they're
XC says I updated my address over the phone, the bank outsourced their support. My statement came 3 weeks late. There was not one, not two but 3 spelling mistakes on the address. Michael XC says asterisk Indian support.
Yeah, in Utah, I think it's that like people want to believe that they can start a business,
Uzi
but they never
Knesset
run the
says
numbers.
they actually buy and sell phone number banks in Facebook groups, funnily enough.
Wow, really? In politics, they definitely sell number banks. It's so annoying. You give your number to a candidate. Oh yeah, we just use it for this, and then you're on every call list. And the scammers get it that way too. It's super super sketchy. It's like after they lose, they sell the number because they lost too much money or whatever. Happens all the time.
Michael XC says the best is that guy on YouTube who sounds like Liam Neeson and fucks with the Indian scammers.
Oh yeah, I've never watched him. Is he good? I see him on Twitch every day, but I never stopped by and watched.
Uzi Knesset says mine started after we bought our house lol. Harlequin says what's the reason 3181.25 is orange in the Amini? Michael XC says Jim something I think.
That's the VWAP.
Uzi Knesset says at Michael XC Jim Browning. Uzi Knesset says Kid Boga is also hilarious.
Yeah, that's his name, Kid Boga. Okay, so the treasuries are kind of trying to pressure
Eke
15.
says hello, this is John Williams, CEO of Microsoft. Unfortunately, Microsoft is going out of business. We will be sending refunds to all our customers. Call back to claim your refund.
And then they stacked at 15.
Uzi Knesset says index pointing up yes lol. Harlequin says is the VWAP new lol. Never actually paid any attention to it.
That's always been there, yeah. Interesting that it's in a different spot from the E-mini and the micros, huh? What does that tell you? The retail traders are more bearish. Okay. That's a step in the right direction. We need to get back above 3181.50. Shying away from it at the moment.
Gary Rich says VWAP is old indicator, it's just the new flavor or shiny thing for many to use.
It's it's an old indicator. That has been in there from day one in the Jigsaw DOM, actually. Okay, they traded 81.50.
Harlequin says make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. Harlequin says
What?
if you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I
Oh,
don't
I
have
see.
money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills I have acquired over a very long career, skills that Harlequin says make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it.
Ace Trade says morning. Harlequin says stupid bot, wrong order.
Yeah.
Harlequin says stupid bot, wrong order.
Oh, I clicked it, so I read it twice. Okay. So the E-mini, or sorry, the treasuries did get through 15 there.
Gary Rich says when I see VWAP being referenced in SEC filings I pay attention.
Is it actually referenced in SEC filings? What?
Uzi Knesset says you haven't lived until you've traded from the Vista chart and nothing else lol.
Oh, there you go.
Dakota Glecko says teach me how to trade please.
Teach me how to trade, please. Well, here's the thing. The only person that can truly teach you how to trade is the market. But you can sit here and watch and learn with us. I hope this one works out. I don't like the place my second order got filled.
Ace Trades says short signal 3181.00.
What?
Uzi Knesset says if you want to buy, click buy. If you want to sell, click sell. That's it.
You know what? I was just noticing.
Harlequin says does anyone use VWAP standard deviations? Some years ago I used them, but didn't work out too good. On range days they worked pretty well, but against the trend. Ouch, remember some big losses. Ace Trades says also, my computer is only recognizing one screen, so we are all on a tight space today.
That's weird. It's also weird to me that you got a short
Gary Rich
there.
says yes, some stocks when they file their additional shares, they refer to 90% of VWAP on X day.
Oh, that's interesting. China to break silence on trade deal at 9:30 Eastern Time. Well, you got a point.
Ace Trade says 1 point, take profit, cover rest of trade. Harlequin says do you pay attention to the VWAP, Seth?
Not as much as I used to, but I do think it's important. Behavior, I have stats that show behavior is different above or below the VWAP. Like if you're taking momentum trades, it's a lot better to go with, if you're above the
Uzi
VWAP.
Knesset says we break silence on trade deal at the exact moment US equity market opens so we can fuck with American traders. Ha ha ha.
Okay, so the treasuries just took 14.5 and 14. They're actually kind of ticking like they think there's news or something. There's Ace got 2 points. No, not quite 2 points. Okay, there's 2 points. Well, that second entry really didn't work out. I'm thinking maybe I should bail here.
Ace Trade says more on the way.
Interesting. The sell here doesn't really make sense in my opinion. That just means that we're like way too early, I guess. Or we got suckered in. I mean, there was a stop run up there. Maybe we should have.
IQ says who can
Gotten out
remember
when
the
there was a
Matrox
stop
video
run.
card? For multiple monitors at $300 plus.
Wow, really? That was like old school. What you had to do to get multiple monitors? Like why the treasuries are really starting to move down now. Look at that. Now the E-mini is starting to notice. Hmm.
Michael XC says you could just use multiple cheap ATI cards.
Well, because that run to 3184 in the mini didn't make it past 3185.
Uzi
It
Knesset
ended
says
up
I
being
run
an
4
inside bar.
monitors and a 52-inch TV off 2 old NVIDIA cards lol.
Really? 52-inch television. Wow. They're making some nice big televisions now that have like high refresh rates and you could use for a computer. Like NVIDIA's been all over it. Okay. So there the treasuries tick back down to pressure 13.5. $13.5 is kind of like if they take
Uzi
13.5.
Knesset says I think I paid $250 for them like 5 to 6 years ago. They were discount cards at the time, even more discount now that they're stones haha.
Okay.
Harlequin says just curious, does the SEC or what it is called check Trump tweets? I mean they seem like market manipulation to me. Amini is down, let's just say something like there is going to be a trade deal. Uzi Knesset says seems like that spread bid got filled in ZB.
Well, here's the thing. If they are using it as manipulation, it would probably be legal. Like if you have government information that president is about to tweet something, I don't think that, especially not in futures, that it cover that. Government information is considered public information. It's that whole problem again, right? Now, if he gave somebody an economic number and they traded that, then that would be for sure illegal. But if a more apt example would be if a trade deal has been struck and and you go and you tell the bank, I don't think that the SEC can hit you for that. Because the government doesn't have private information like a company does. Or I forget what the technical term is, but you get what I mean. Government. Okay. Zero Hedge tweets, no deal is extremely bullish. It means another year of yearly headlines, daily headlines that a deal is imminent. I can't believe that Zero Hedge is still so certain that there's not going to be a deal. He was getting mad yesterday, and I'm like, somebody is obviously short. These Chinese guys, listen. They would not set up a big press conference sort of a thing like this to come out and say something negative. There's no fucking way. The deal happened. And I'm almost certain that the deal happened and all of these guys that are going short are going to get destroyed. And I'm just going to laugh. And if I'm wrong, then we should do something extremely humiliating for me. But I'm not going to be wrong. Well, our treasury trade is going through a little bit, but the equities continue to be a little stubborn.
Ace Trade says at Harlequin no one is checking the president's tweets, and that is the problem. He goes to take a dump and starts tweeting away.
Harlequin says we bought zero hedge. Our press conference today is going to be about Epstein. We are going to laugh about the people who think he killed himself and make fun about this Hillary Clinton.
We bought zero hedge. Oh, man. I wish he could see that one. There's the stop run. Can you believe I got stopped out on that? Wall Street Journal story on the China deal is completely wrong. Especially their statement on tariffs. Fake news, they should find a better leaker. What does that mean? Why are they stopping me out lower? Oh, the deal that the Wall Street Journal reported on is not in play. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm out. I'm not messing with it. The deal must be different.
Mason Chan says Seth I don't think it's a good idea to trade news.
Yeah, sure, it's fine. Especially in the micros, we're fine. What did we lose there? We're fine.
Harlequin says C0 hedge was right.
Come on. I think I'm trying to trade something with a little too tight of a stop here. Think about it, guys. Why would Donald Trump go and put the kibosh to say, oh, we have a deal. Oh, but that story about us making a deal is wrong. Doesn't make sense, does it? This is a positive. I can't believe they're selling it. This is so stupid. I'm just laughing here. It's okay. It's okay if it doesn't work out, but the market is so irrational. Let me tell you what. They're confused. Look at it. Look at the way it's ticking. They're so confused. It just means that the deal that they reported, the specifics of the deal they reported is wrong. Why would the administration have said that there was a deal? That they had struck a deal yesterday? And then he comes and counters it? No. Come on. Well,
Harlequin says to quote the famous Lord Buckethead, this is going to be a shit show. Ace Trades says 10 points before breakfast.
Gonna try it again. Let me just give it a little bit more room, okay?
Uzi Knesset says this dude forever short lol.
Can't believe he made 10 points off of that. Holy cow. Damn. How many times do you think I can fight
IQ says nice call air cages. Gary Rich says when you have a bracket order above the range time chart, one long one short and wait for them to trigger, it's magic.
Yeah. I'm telling you it's going to go higher. All right, well.
Uzi Knesset says so if Ace is up 10 points on a sell. He's been banking on shorts for like, ever, why the heck are you buying it? Lol.
I'm buying it because they're wrong. I mean, I don't know where they're going to stop, but I'm pretty positive I know how this is going to work out. And I think that I should trade it, especially with as little of risk as I have to take to do it. They just hate me so much. Okay.
Gary Rich says I'm using 30 seconds charts to find my trades. I draw levels from the 15 minutes and 5 minutes and let order flow verify liquidity is behind those levels.
Come on. That one actually had a little bit on it. Well,
Uzi Knesset says at Gary Rich I've been experimenting with that this week in ZP. Using high liquidity zones for trade and risk management. Just to see how those levels impact the market. Good stuff my man. Uzi Knesset says results have been promising.
I mean, the delta is climbing you despite them pushing lower there. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says spent the whole week trading off the Vista chart with a focus on high liquidity zones. Definitely a sense of comfort comes with having liquidity behind a trade.
This is that situation where
Ace
it's
Trade
like,
says
you
at
might
Gary
be
Rich you
right.
use charts? I just go off of Seth's facial expressions.
You might be right, but how far can the market go before you're proven right, you know? Damn it.
Uzi Knesset says she's doing limbo. How low can she go?
Yeah. And I didn't do that one right. Hmm.
Gary Rich says at Ace yes when Seth gets happy I fade that it's a new counter trend Seth strategy, lol.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna walk away for a second.
Stickball says I've never been so grateful for fresh air Seth. JB says nice to see the volatility back regardless of the reasons why.
All right. Good to see the volatility back. Right.
Ace Trade says at Gary Rich I don't know what else to do other than to made solid calls.
It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Gary Rich says looks like Cinderella Rally is giving up some of her glass slipper run.
I'm telling you guys, this is like your best buy you're ever gonna fucking get. We'll see when the E-mini Open comes and China starts their press conference, but I'm willing to bet that it's gonna go up. But the market does not agree with me at the moment. They want to squeeze me again. It sure has slowed down, at least. Hmm. Well,
Gary Rich says looks like they're chumming the water on the cells, and boom drop the hammer and turn it around. Seth may
Yeah.
be correct. I'm ready for it.
I do see a hammer on the 5 minute chart. Okay, now the treasuries are pulled. So my logic here again, the reason that the market is moving the way that it is because Donald Trump tweeted that the the Wall Street Journal story on the trade deal is wrong. That's why the market's moving. Why, if Donald Trump had a deal and they announced that there was a deal and that it was close and everything like that, why would he come and say that the Wall Street Journal story is false? There was no deal. It's because the details that they had about the deal were
Stickball
wrong.
says White House official confirmed.
All right.
Harlequin says are all the trades live?
Some of those were live, yeah. What you gonna do? Obviously not the Zen ones, but these ones were. It adds up, doesn't it?
Stickball says Live Squawk said something about Walter Bloomberg.
Hmm.
Michael XC says WSJ is not reliable because Bezos owns it and has a grudge against Trump, so probably they don't get great access to the Trump presidency. Gary Rich says Wow Crude is giving back all her gains from yesterday. Stickball says Walter Bloomberg tweeted Trump says Wall Street Journal Sotri on China deal is completely wrong, Espically their statement on tariffs. Stickball says and apparently when Walter got this news from as a reliable source. Stickball says I think they said some official told him.
Right.
Uzi Knesset says madness? This is markets. Stickball says yeah. Stickball says senior official told him to objective mostly to the tariff state deal. Stickball says just hear this now.
So as I understand it, there was a deal. It's just that
Eric
it
Cages
wasn't.
says Seth is back.
It wasn't. Yeah, I'm back. Come on. Nope. I don't know if that actually. Hold on.
Michael XC says, oh, I just realized I got 102 points on YM on Sim. Air Cages says Beast Mode Seth in the building.
Hold on. I had like 2 orders out there and it gave me an error, and I don't know if I think I got, I mean, it tells me I got filled, so I guess I don't really need to worry about it, but. It says that I'm filled on too, so.
Stickball says Seth, that's what I was talking about, by the way.
What? When you're not sure you got filled? Well, if I come over here and I look at it,
Stickball says the Twitter link.
3168.25. Oh, okay, hold on.
Ace Trade says 2 minutes to open.
Hmm. Okay.
Chris Kivik says can't pay bills with Sim money. Gary Rich says something must be good for now. The euro broke 110, the GBP definitely broke 130. All of these are key levels for something good so far. Uzi Knesset says 2 minutes till make or break lol. Stickball says Jonathan Swan tweeted senior official told me he's objecting mostly to the half reduction of tariffs detail.
Yep.
Ace Trade says at KRIS Kivik you can if you bank at the Sim Bank.
Mm-hmm. I wish I hadn't closed that
Chris
error
Kivik
window.
says only Sim bills.
How do I make it? If I say stop
Ace
limit.
Trade says at KRIS Kivik I use Sim electricity and gas.
There. No, it doesn't. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Okay. Lots of activity on the open, man. But buying. China is set to break silence on deal.
Air Cages says your margin good enough for live? Ace Trades says pretty underwhelming open.
In terms of volume, yeah. It is a little wacky, though. Watch live.
Ace Trades says at Air Cages who you asking?
Here it is on Reuters.
Stickball says China delay briefing.
Man. Those bears are just having a great time there, ain't they? Okay. Right. Could just be going short. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Okay. Okay, well, that's nice. Man, of all the people that I thought would start a press conference on time, I thought it would be the Chinese, but I guess not.
Gary Rich says the market has to have sniffed this trade deal out. The YM has given up 50 points so far. As soon as certain words are mentioned in this press conference, expect a turn or continued drift down.
Is this going to be an engulfing bar? That's the open price right there. Just a little bit more. Come on.
Ace Trade says, or is that the news feed? Folks waiting for press conference?
Harlequin says taking a bit of time, need to come up with some hilarious jokes.
Chris Kivik says, Ace, it's voices in your head, grinning face with big eyes.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous.
Speculator Seth says,
out of my mind. It's okay. We're okay, all right? Don't worry about me. I'm about to make the best trade ever.
Stickball says dollar going up. Stickball says hard.
Now the bulls are starting to make good pushes and you're starting to see stops.
Ace Trade says at KRIS Kivik, I thought Seth had Christmas company or something, lol.
That's right. That's right.
Gary Rich says oil, the FX markets have slowed down as well, man, it's very tight liquidity, the pause before the storm.
I mean, listen to the people in this room. They don't sound unhappy or anything.
Harlequin says, let me tell you my favorite joke. It's the guys swing shorting the mini instead of going long.
Well, we beat out that huge, that downside outside bar. See it? It's magenta, and then we beat it out. That's really good.
Gary Rich says I have a better story. Went long Bitcoin at 19K.
Oh, man. All right, so they're still battling a little bit over the
Ace
the
Trade
regular
says at
open
Gary
price.
Rich I am still long Kodak.
Still on Kodak. Oh, that's a good one, man.
Gary Rich says I'm long Sears.
Ugh. That thing that happened to Sears was
Harlequin
sad.
says Digifu Gary Digifu Rich, that's not a joke. That's just said. Why are people still trading Bitcoin if Garlycoin is the future? Stupid American pig dog.
Pig dog.
Ace Trade says nice to see Seth smile.
I'm so nervous as fuck. Maybe I should have walked away a long time ago. I don't know. I'm so fucking stubborn, guys. This is my biggest problem.
Air Cages says Blockbuster Video is the future.
Did Blockbuster have stock? I thought they were a private company. I think they were a private company.
Uzi Knesset says 16,000 movies man.
You know what? I actually miss Blockbuster. So they had this great thing.
Gary Rich says maybe the Chinese press conference delayed due to several delivery orders.
You pay like $10 a month or something like that, and you could check out as many
Michael XC
money
says there are
movies
still
as
one
you
or two
wanted.
locations left in Alaska.
And they always had every movie, you know, any movie that I wanted, they had at Blockbuster. And then you get to Netflix, and it's like you don't get the movies that you want.
Ace Trade says I'm dumping all of
Not
today's
on
profits
streaming,
into
at least.
Montgomery and Ward.
Come on. Just a little bit more.
Air Cages says they should have just made a Netflix version of Blockbuster.
Exactly. Well, Blockbuster had the opportunity to do it, and they like screwed it up. I don't know what their executives were thinking. They were dumb. I think that if I recall correctly, they had an opportunity to buy Netflix, didn't they? It's just insane, right?
Ace Trade says okay, I'm out. Wasn't going to take less than 10 points on each contract.
Yo, you were still long. You were still short. Show me some stop orders, please. Maybe not. It's been 15 minutes.
Ace Trade says freaking Chinese, bet they are late to World War III as well.
I bet they're late to World War III as well.
Harlequin says, oh, you thought the press conference was today. We meant next year, stupid Americano.
Gary Rich says I think I watched too much Pinky and the Brain or Bugs Bunny cartoons. Which is it gonna go?
Well, they moved higher and now they're kind of consolidating again.
Air Cages says, video streaming? F that noise. Let's build more rental stores.
Uzi Knesset says, please forgive our lateness. We have many knockoff mobile games to program first.
Okay, there was a little sweep lower there. Okay, looks like they overcame him.
Ace Trade says isn't China where we got Chucky 2 from? And gunpowder? Who needs gunpowder?
We got Chucky 2 from China? What? Tell me, I don't know. Tell me what the backstory is up to that one. I mean, they've got like 6 seats up there. Okay. They're moving the camera. Let me just put this down here, okay?
Harlequin says, sorry for the delay. We need to beat up some people in Hong Kong first, maybe kidnap another Dalai Lama and then we are ready.
Kidnap another Dalai Lama.
Gary Rich says the Chinese are late because they are hacking Trump's Twitter account.
Right. I'm telling you, Donald Trump and the rest of the White House are probably sitting in his office right now with the screen of the markets up, laughing that the market sold on that tweet. I'm telling you.
Air Cages says, Mom, you need to buy $500 Google Play cards, alright, so we can send your Microsoft refund. You cannot tell anyone about this transaction. I lose my job, please drive to Walmart now.
Michael XC says the idea that Marco Polo brought noodles back from China to introduce to Italy came from a Canadian wheat company's advertising campaign about 100 years ago.
I've never heard that before. Okay, well, I'm down in my treasury trade. There's an inside bar here they're testing. This is a little too quiet.
Harlequin says hopefully they just say Epstein did not kill himself and then just leave the press conference.
That would be awesome.
Ace Trade says yeah, some Chinese worker, instead of hurling himself off his building like a good worker would, programmed a Chucky doll to kill in revenge for working conditions.
$2,532 watching China live stream.
Air Cages says how much are you up today? Gary Rich says you notice how no Asians were in any of Epstein videos or pictures.
Okay. See, that looks on the top side of this bar, that looks more like a stop run about to happen.
Harlequin says IT would be sham if there was no deal, stupid motherfuckers.
It would be a sham if there was no deal, stupid motherfucker. The camera
Gary
guy
Rich
is getting
says maybe
bored.
they will come in with a giant dragon parade to start the conference.
No, those look like more press people. I see people walking, I'm like, oh, are they going to come out? No, it's more press people. Okay, they pushed it. A few stops. I think you have more in you. I think you have more in you, E-Meanie. Come on.
Air
Don't hold
Cages
back
says
on me.
accent Russian
Thank you.
kukabliat.
Thank you.
Harlequin says maybe the press conference is in another room.
They picked they sent the US media to the wrong room, and they're already going right now. And nobody in the United States knows.
Harlequin
yes.
says plot twist, they already finished.
Air says sakablet.
Stickball says WDYT of long ZN. Stickball says what do you think sorry?
What do you think of Long Zian?
Gary Rich says just got triggered long YM 136.
Okay.
Air says sakablet.
Harlequin says just got triggered waiting for the Chinese.
If they could start this press conference.
Stickball says suck a what?
So that was an outside bar there that was green now. So now we might get an inside bar and another green bar. But my treasury trade's not working out, so I can move my risk, I guess, to there.
Michael XC says it's not sucka but suka.
President Trump has taught the Chinese how to deal with the U.S., led by him with caution. Today's Washington is given traditional concepts such as negotiation and deal untraditional connotations. The world needs to fully understand this.
Harlequin says are they thinking on how to screw up the deal? Honestly, what's taking so long?
I don't know. Maybe they thought the Americans would be 30 minutes late, so they told us 30 minutes early. Why is this,
Air Cages says suka.
Stop moving around. Fine, I'll do it that way. Fine. The Treasury is really consolidating here.
Harlequin says maybe they wanted to watch the series finale of Silicon Valley before starting the conference. Stickball says I just bought 10 3,180 strike S calls in the CME trading challenge. Stickball says fuck it YOLO.
3180 calls. Yeah. Let's buy this motherfucker. Zero Hedge says so deal? Question mark? That was really great. Everybody's trying to figure out who was saying. Okay, here she's talking. They didn't correctly identify that the mic was mono, so I'm only hearing it out of my left ear. Hire a new audio engineer. Thank you. What did they just say? My Chinese friends. Where's wrong? What did she just say wrong? Was that we will begin at the top of the hour? 2 minutes? That's must have been what she said.
Uzi Knesset says we have no audio of it.
You didn't hear that? You can't hear the bustling in the background? Yeah, you can. It's just like super quiet.
Harlequin says they said they are going to show a new mobile game.
Now they fixed the audio.
Air Cages says hello no China deal today people. K thanks bye.
Gary Rich says they welcome suckers please stand by grab your tissues. Stickball says Flappy Pigeon.
Flappy Pigeon. That would make sense because you know that pigeons aren't real, right?
Yes, Clash of Zombies World War Naval Z.
If pigeons aren't real, then that would make sense that the Chinese would make their game
Stickball
up.
says the sequel to Flappy Bird. Air Cages says they told everyone to smash like on the stream.
Oh, that's what she was saying. Okay, yeah, there's 30 of you and we have 4 likes. They're not talking yet. You could go over, come into that window and press the
Stickball
like
says
button.
10 seconds.
Oh, don't go down. That was a weird impulse.
Harlequin says it is called road to impeachment. No trade deal addition, just a coincidence. No threat at all.
Thomas Hagg says whispers in the background. Trump still tweeting. We tell him stop, but he no stop. Says important, big time. Gary Rich says they said welcome shark fin soup and turtle soup will be served after the conference.
Oh. The family's up. Somebody's walking out. Somebody's walking out. We're gonna get
Air
translation.
Cages says it's only a matter of time before we hear a bad English accent.
经过中美两国经贸团队的共同努力，中美第一阶段经贸磋商
Harlequin says yes sorry, looks like a new mobile game. No trade deal
我
today.
们举行新闻发布会，请国家发展和改革委员会副主任
They just said they've made significant
中央
progress.
财经委员会办公室副主任、财政部副部长廖敏、外交部副部长郑泽光
Yeah. Excuse me, good sirs, but I think you have some money that belongs to me and I'd like it back.
部长兼国际贸易谈判副代表王受文
You see me?
介绍
Bear
中
gang?
美经贸磋
Fuck
商
you.
有关进展情况，并回答记者们关心的问题。
Feels so good.
现在我们先请王受文先生发布中方关于中美经贸第一阶段经贸协议的声明。
We are off for the run.
各位新闻界的朋友，大家晚上好。现在我先读一下
Phase 1 Economic Trade
中
Agreement.
方关于中美第一阶段经贸协议的声明。经过中美两国经贸团队的共同努力，双方在平等和相互尊重的基础之上，已就
Get out of here.
第一阶段的
Go.
协议文本达成一致。
Go. You got more.
协
Keep
议的文
going.
本包括序言、
I want all of it, bitch.
技术转让、
There we go.
农产品、金
There
融
we go.
汇率和透明度、扩大贸易、双边评估和终端解决、最终调
Did I tell you? All these people that selling it gonna feel real
与此同
stupid.
时，双方还达成了一致，美方将履行
Look at my
分阶
treasury
段
trade.
取消对华产品加征关税的相关承诺，实现加征关税由升到降的转变。中方认为，中美两国作为全球最大的经济体，处理两国经贸关系必须从大局出发，达成经贸协议，有利于中美两国人民和世界人民的根本利益，将在经贸、投资、金融市场等等方面产生积极的效应。本协议整体上符合中国深化改革开放的大方向，以及
They still got more room.
推动经济高质量发展的内在需要。协议相关内容的落实将有助于强化知识产权的保护，改善营商环境，扩大市场准入，更好地维护包括外国企业在内的各类企业在中国的合法利益，
Keep going.
也将有利于保护中方企业在
Keep
对内
going.
经贸活动
There's at least another 5 points in that. At least another 5 points in that.
扩大中方企业按照世贸组织的规则和市场化、商业化的原则，增加曾包括美国在内的各国进口优质、有竞争力的产品和服务。这
This is all like a positive press release and everything.
国内消费升级的趋势
Is what a live trade. The ZN one's not a live trade.
对美好生活
Can you imagine if it was?
本协议有利于中美两国加强经贸
Harlequin says rip shorts.
I'll turn you guys back on after he's done talking.
和解决经贸领域
Yes, can we get an F in chat for the Bears?
中美经贸关系稳定发展。在当前全球经济面临下行压力的背景之下，本协议呢也有利于增强全球的市场信心，稳定市场预期，为正常的经贸投资活动创造良好的环境。那么双方约定，下一步双方呢将各自完成法律审核、翻译、校对等必要的程序，而且双方呢将尽快的完成这些必要的程序，并就正
Oh,
式
they're ordering them to complete that. So they've already written it up and they're just reviewing it now.
协议签署之后，希望双方能够遵守协议的约定，努力落实好第一阶段协议的相关内容，多做有利于双边经贸关系发展和全球经济金融稳定的事情，维护世界和平与繁荣。谢谢大家。
好，谢谢。 下面啊，我们进入提问环节。提问的时候呢，请记者报一下所代表的新闻机构。今天啊，我们采取了英文的同声传译。下面我们开始提问。行，第二排吧，这位女士。
Now the press gets to ask questions. World peace and prosperity. That ticket means that made. I think it does. If I'm reading this one right, I am now positive on the day. Sometimes the jigsaw profit and loss window is kind of weird, but according to this, I'm positive on the day now.
中美两国就扩大贸易合作问题进行了深入沟通，双方都认识到，扩大中美贸易合作有利于两国资源优化配置和经济结构调整。中美贸易发展到今天这样的规模，源于中美经济有很强的互补性，而从两国超大规模经济和市场看，中美贸易还有很大的潜力。从满足中国人民不断增长的消费需求和推动经济高质量发展出发，中国欢迎有具竞争力的美国产品和服务进入中国市场。
House Judiciary Committee votes to recommend Trump be impeached for abuse of power. So you might have some robots come in and try selling because of that.
在能源、制成品、农产品、医疗、金融等领域，扩大自美高品质产品和服务进口，能给中国消费者带来购买更便利。价格更实惠，种类更丰富的体验。还要看到，扩大中美贸易合作，符合中国经济高质量发展要求。扩大国内需要的先进。
I kind of totally didn't pay attention to what was going on in the end there. Should I have gotten out?
在满足国内企业生产需要的同时，有利于中国企业在更高水平上进行更有效的投资，扩大自美服务进口，也有助于国内服务业企业提升竞争力，进一步提高服务供给的质量和水平。同时也要看到，中国是美国的重要出口市场。扩大中美贸易
the impeachment news is nothing, so I think we hold.
积极意义。中国是美国农产品。
So the vote was from the Judiciary Committee. I think that we all already knew that the Judiciary Committee was going to recommend it. We know that the House is probably going to do it too, but we'll see what the vote is if any Democrats defect.
需要开拓国际能源市场，增加能源产品出口，扩大中美能源领域的合作，也是美国的选择。需要强调的是，扩大贸易合作必须基于市场原则和 WTO 规则。美方需要保障供给能力，提高产品质量和价格竞争力，满足中国
Cooperation must be based on market principles and WTO rules. I like that. They're saying all the right things.
中国的市场空间在这里，只要美国的产品和服务适销对路，能够满足中国老百姓的需求，扩大自美
What a circus, Thomas Hag.
也是
I know. It makes for good entertainment, though, doesn't it?
同时
I hope you are entertained. If you are entertained, hit like.
对质优价廉的商品和服务的需求不断增加。中国欢迎各国企业
They're going to work on a specific arrangement to sign the trade deal.
扩大中
So
美
they'll
贸
have
易
an
合作
official signing of
不
some
会影
sort.
响其他贸易伙伴的利益。谢谢你。
那位站着的记者吧，一直在举手。话筒，对，OK， 麦克风。
嗨，可不可以用英文提问？
可以 ，OK。
Look, I'm from Reuters. And my question is, can China confirm that as part of the first phase agreement, China will purchase $50 billion worth of US agricultural products? Also, can China confirm that within the first phase agreement, tariffs, US tariffs will be reduced by 50%, and as such, will China plan on doing the same and reducing its tariffs by 50%?
This is the interesting question that everybody was wondering, right?
你好，我是路透社的记者。我的问题是，请问中方可否证实第一阶段贸易协议，中国已承诺明年自美进口500亿美元的农产品？第一阶段贸易协议是否包括美国答应取消50%的现有关税？中方对此是否也会取消50%的对美关税？谢谢。
关于这个，谢谢你的提问哈，这个问题也是这2天市场传言很多的一个问题。我呢先回答这个关于关税取消的问题，然后呢农产品采购的问题呢，待会儿我请这个聂主任来回答。这个取消关税啊，是中方在经贸磋商当中的这个核心关切。双方呢就此问题啊，现在达成了一致。随着双方
Two sides have reached an agreement on tariffs.
美方已经承诺会取消部分对华的拟加征和已加征的关税，并且呢会加大中国输美
US has agreed to remove part of the
关
tariff
税啊这个豁免的这个力度，
and increase tariff exemptions.
加征关税的趋势。 从一个
But they didn't give a number.
转向一个下降的趋势啊，这一点也是个承诺，是肯定的。那么呢，据我了解呢，今天呢，这个美方啊也在举行这个新闻发布会，那么估计美方呢这个会宣布相关的这个信息。至于中方的这个关税的这个情况
Oh, the US is going to release irrelevant information, so he's not going to give the number.
承诺了。 要取消部分对华产品的这个加征关税，同时呢，会加大对中国输美产品这个关税豁免的力度啊。刚才这个美方的承诺呢，我已经向大家做了介绍。那么中方呢，希望美方呢能够切实的履行这个承诺。那么同时呢，中方也将相应的考虑，不实施原计划。
They're selling it again.
在12月15号啊，这个生效的。 你对美方的进口产品的加征关税的措施啊，所以这个是这个关于关税部分的双方在第一阶段协议里面达成的一些共识。谢谢。
毫无疑问，中国将增加采购优质和具有市场竞争力的 美国农产品，但目前啊，第一阶段贸易协议正在审核程序。刚才王部长说了，所以涉及协议具体内容和数据的，今后再发布。
好，谢谢。我们继续提问。请第2排那位女士，你左手。
Specifics will be released elsewhere, so they're letting the US announce to give it, I guess.
签署后，中国自美进口的农产品将大幅增加。我们想问的问题是，会不会对国内的产业带来冲击？谢谢。
这个谢谢你的提问。这次中美双方啊，这个达成的第一阶段贸易协议，将是一个平等互利。 合作协议，其中呢，这个食品和农产品贸易章节呢，集中体现了双方在农业领域的关注。那么这个协议的实施啊，首先呢是将有利于这个扩大中国的农产品对美国的出口。 因为中国呢，这个
There's some strong buying coming in here. Are they going to break the shorts back and start pushing up again? It's unclear where that line would be.
反复磋商呢，美方近期先后公布了
允许
China
中
dude
国
nailed
这
the
个
accent.
自产的输至禽肉鲶鱼产品输美的最终规则。那么中国成为这个继
Can't
加
believe
拿
that
大、
it was that
墨
far, and
西
I'd
哥、智利等国
been
之
watching
后
this one.
有资格向美国出口自产原料输至禽肉的国家。那么也是目前呢，全世界有资格向美国出口鲶鱼的3个国家之一。此外呢，美方还同意这个公布中国的香梨、柑橘。
Both sides have agreed to cancel the Sunday
输美
tariffs.
监管的通报程序，允许这些产品呢，这个向美国出口那么并在协议中呢，就尽快解除中国输美水产品自动扣留等呢。 做出了积极的承诺。那么这其中有些问题呢，已经谈了10多年了那么这次呢，终于有了
Turn it off.
突破。那么这
Bitcoin
些
going
成果
crazy.
呢，将会对
Let's see.
那么我们相关产品的
I don't see any change.
产生积极的影响，有助于我国农业行业
Not on the futures, at
对
least.
美国的出口，为我国农民和产业界呢争取。
I can mute it. What, do you want them muted like that? So you can listen to it on your own side faster? Okay, sure, I'll do it like that. That's the joke. Oh, I get it, yeah. We were talking yesterday about how this should affect Bitcoin, but because Bitcoin moved up when tensions were increasing. And now tensions are decreasing and Bitcoin hasn't sold yet. And it's not reacting at all. I think, though, that... Oh, here, I'll give you the link again. I think, though, that maybe later today they might sell in Bitcoin. Okay, it does look like the buyers are making progress again. We are natural partners, he says. It's cool how they speak Chinese in the left ear and English in the right. Yeah, it actually makes it easier for me to hear what he's saying. Okay, there was a good little step up there. %85% of their soybeans comes from imports? Wow. Hopefully one reporter goes rogue and asks them about Hong Kong. I'd highlight that. If anybody did that, they'd be to the gulags. They'd have to go and learn to concentrate better. Wakanda forever. Commodities caught a bid as well. We can't fight momentum. Oh, I bet. Almost everything is up except for the treasuries. Look at copper. Oil is definitely up. Oh, his gold isn't up either. Yeah, okay. GC is actually kind of up and down. This one right here, but at the moment down. He wants the number. Hmm. Thank you for your question. I already provided that information. But he won't give the number. They can't give the number because it needs legal review. Okay. A little bit of volatility there. Ooh, what about IP details? Whoa. Those agreements are very much in line. Man. Position chaos. Outside bar after an inside bar. China will create an environment that I didn't hear what you, they're basically they're saying that they're gonna fix the IP issue. They're basically saying they're gonna fix the IP issue. We have agreed to a very large phase 1 deal with China. They have agreed to many structural changes and purchases of agricultural hold on. Energy manufactured plus the 25% tariffs will remain as is, with 7.5% put on much of the remainder. Why is that going down? And why is that going up? That was wild. Tariffs will not be charged because of the fact that we made a deal. Donald Trump confirming. New York Post editorial board names Eric CML as a whistleblower. Wow, really? What the fuck? I'm seeing all sorts of misinformation everywhere. Okay, so they're talking about Donald Trump saying here the 25% tariffs will remain as is, with 7.25% put on much of the remainder. I don't know what that means. Well, treasuries are kind of coming higher. I don't know. They're all so that everybody's so confused. Okay. Okay, well, they're not, but he's saying the U.S. is also holding a press conference, and I'm like, well, nobody told me about it. Well, some people are seeming to try and be contrarian here. We might have to dump it. Hmm. Well, that sucks, guys. We lost quite a bit there. I think it's kind of funny that the market is now stressing about specific details of the deal. Like, I don't feel like that any of that matters as much as the fact that they made a deal. Well, I need to reset a little bit, so I'm going to go to the bathroom, all right? Okay, that was the end of the press conference. Okay. Well, this is just crazy. I'm going to turn you guys back on. Damn it. So it would have worked better if I was just trading the 10-year, because I can tell where they're turning on the 10-year, and I can't tell really in the E-mini. Okay, now bulls are making a run now that they're done talking. $74.50. Okay. No. Don't do that. Oh, that's interesting. Well, there was a lot of buying that came in on that last impulse. When we were up at 74, but there's kind of like a 5-minute resistance area there. So I guess that they back up and they're going to try and go at it again. Okay, another clicky. We're getting those buy sweeps, but I don't know if that's somebody coming in and buying or if it's a stop run. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, my reader is done now. So I can't necessarily see you guys. Possible short signal setting up at 3170.50. Okay, well, I'm definitely uncomfortable with what has happened because I wanted to be out up here. I wanted to be out and get back in. That's okay. Whew. 67.75. Oh, wow. Well, that one sure came out of nowhere. Come on, damn it. Oh, I didn't get filled. Oh, I did get filled. Let's put this here. Actually. My setup says that this is a good long spot, but they're fighting it hard. So I don't know what to think. I'm seeing stuff on Twitter. Chinese trade deal covers areas of IP, tech transfer, agriculture, financial services, currency, foreign exchange. China agreed to substantial additional purchases of U.S. goods and services coming in the year's U.S. trade TR. I don't know. Lighthouser is speaking, I believe. I'm surprised to see such a wobbly market in this. I'm just from my perspective, does the number fucking matter? Why does the number matter? Who cares? 30 watching now. Please remember to hit like. Yes, please. Well, that right there is not a good sign. The press conference inflated the indexes and just a few minutes later gave it back. It says Gary, maybe. I guess the question is the trade deal caused the indexes to be overvalued? What I see here is something that's gonna fight around a lot, but is eventually gonna go higher. Man. Okay. I can't believe that the treasuries are higher here. It's called sniffing the news out. We know that China isn't going to stop theft of IP. They say things to calm the markets as a clackus. Perhaps, but she said all of the things. Another short signal is 70.50. That's not true. Okay. But they don't say the same thing on tariffs. How is that possible? Hmm. The Open seems like a good place, doesn't it? Remember that yesterday we were pricing in a 50%. Now they're saying it's a 25%. Oh, I see. So it was 25% on... Okay. Let me get to this one. Well, I think that's my last one, man. It's not more. Well, they seem to all be revolting. I'm just gonna like kind of sit back here for a bit. I need you guys here. I can't like look at everything at once. I'm having issues here. The treasuries seem really upset about it, though. The thing that I think is weird is like, why does the number matter? Do they actually have this all priced out to the T and like that's what's going on here? Because from my perspective, like, who cares? If they do a full trade deal, then all of the tariffs are going to come off eventually anyways. So what the exact numbers are on this one don't matter. And everybody trying to say that there's not actually a deal, I think that's nonsense. There's very clearly a deal. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I thought so. Another set of stops right there at 66. 5 years, saying that they might turn here. Like everybody in chat is like, oh, it's not, there's no deal. I don't know, guys. Might just have to walk away with it and look at that low of the day, huh? I don't know what the numbers were before, but it's 25. There's my Well, I don't really like my spot. Like, this whole thing is nonsense. People don't understand. Like, it's... Okay, when they asked about the numbers that China said... Missed it. No. Was it 25 before? I don't know. We're arguing about it in Discord. Bond yields are tumbling as traders worry about lack of details. Sorry if you guys feel ignored a little bit, or just trying to work it out here in Discord. What the deal is. Trump says 25% tariffs will remain, but new China duties will not take effect Sunday. But what were they? So was it 25% before? Does this mean the tranche at 7.5 is a... Okay, what has CNBC now been saying? Let's just go to their page. They're all confused, for sure. Okay. Democrats confirm Trump impeachment vote next week. They did that in the past and it didn't happen? Well, I was making a good bit there and then it come back. The treasuries have kind of died down. I think that they've run out of buyers. Come on. Well, I'm not sure what to make of this. Hmm. That one sucked. So everybody's stressing out about the number because they're confused when it's not. I don't. At same point. It'd certainly be above 3160 at least. China Vice State Planner had asked about commitment on U.S. farm purchases, said value of U.S. farm purchases will be disclosed at a later date. Trump earlier agreed we have agreed to a very large phase one deal. They have agreed to many structural changes and massive changes of agricultural product. So he didn't announce the number either. Hmm. Not actually seeing new stuff come through on Twitter either. That's kind of weird. News flow. China trade should show greater than Trump impeachment. Well, that's for sure. Like, the thing that I find so interesting is that people were saying there was no deal, and then the Chinese came out and said, here's the deal, and we can't give you the numbers, but here's the deal. And then they're still saying, oh, there's no deal. Like, really? This is just like the most irrational thing I've ever seen in my life. The most irrational thing I've ever seen in my life. What number are we looking for? Asks Michael. Well, they're asking about whether what the actual change on the tariffs are, and I'm like, who fucking cares? Like, honestly, who cares? There's going to be a deal. And China was totally positive on the phase 2 as well. Like, it sounds like it's over and it's done with. So if and unless you just don't believe the Chinese, and I mean, good grief, what more could anybody do to try and convince you, right? If you don't believe them, there's nothing that the markets can possibly do that would convince you. Then yeah, I don't know. I think this is dumb. Watch the Treasuries stop run. Well, in the end, I ended up down. Interestingly enough, on that is weird. Well, it doesn't look like we have any kind of a buy anymore. Oof. I mean, the thing is that as this goes on, it'll just all settle, and then eventually they'll figure out, oh yeah, they're right. There was, like, I almost wonder if there's confusion in selling on purpose to get better buy positions. Okay. There was maybe what I was looking for. Well, you know what, guys? I think I'm going to have to end it there because it's almost 9:30. Deal or New Deal was tons of fun. I believe that Meghan Markle once did the suitcase thing. Someone is now on the A-list. Once did the gig. Maybe Christy Teigen. That might give us a shooting star. Or, sorry, a hammer. Oof. Well, that's my limit right there, man. I'm really disappointed, guys. I mean, I was right. And now they're coming out and they're pushing it down again for no reason. I think they're all wrong. Do not FOMO armor fail. Yeah. Who knows what trouble I'll get into. Agreement of the text does not mean that all trade issues can be resolved and any accidents can happen during implementation. The Chinese government should be prepared at any time to deal with any changes, experts say. Experts say. It says Global Times. Yeah. It's like the Hawks started like not on it. Well, I would be really surprised anything below 62. I mean, if they start going into below 60, then we're in like Bizarro world. Like, seriously? There he pushes it again. And there's so many people long, too. That's the funny thing. Oh, man. He said, will you marry me? Unfortunately, he's already married. This is very typical where when the biggest news comes out, the market's initial move is wrong. They're moving down, they're going to be wrong, and then they'll come back on Monday and buy it. Yeah. Well, now the sellers have the possibility of overextending. They're running into some liquidity here at 3160. Okay, well now it's 9:30, guys, so I have to take you off. Sorry, maybe it'll go up later. Disappointing. Well, I'll see you guys on Monday, I guess. Lick my wounds. In the meantime,